Oh, hey, friends. Hey, my friends. Hi. Oh, today. I'm so thrilled that I get to be here with you all today. It means so much to me. Um, I'm going to talk about what we're going to do today. I'm going to give folks a minute to get on in here. If you're already here, I'd love to. My chat box looks frozen. Maybe you want to give me a chat and see if my it'll unfreeze my chat box. That would be cool. Um, oh, hey, Jen, thank you. My chat box is seriously frozen. Like, it looks weird on my computer. Anyway, small potatoes, small potatoes. Hey, Taliesin. Oh, this is a treat. Miss you, friend. So glad you're here today. Hey, Camille. So glad you're here today. Oh, party people. So, here's what's shaken. Um, as many of you know who follow me, and you're in my community. Hey, beautiful Audrey. You know that every month I pick a theme and then we dive deep into that theme. We do cosmic smash booking pages. I write a lot of my emails that are inspired by that theme. And so for the month of November, I had chosen the theme of inner wisdom. And I woke and I had already planned out our workshop, of course, because y'all know I like the structure. You know I had this planned. Oh, good morning, Kelly. Good morning, Roberta. So happy my friends are here. Oh, so good, so good. Okay, so I had everything planned, and then I woke up this morning and I had my really big feels, and I thought, what a gift! What a gift! Like I always host these on the first Wednesday of every month. It just happened to land today, November 6th, right? Beautiful. I need it. Maybe you need it too. um, and at first I thought, how can I show up today in my grief and my anger and my sadness and all my feelings? How can I show up and guide this inner wisdom workshop? I was asking myself these questions, and then I thought, of course I can. Of course inner wisdom still matters. It matters more than ever, because I thought, do I need to shift? Do I need to do something differently? And I don't. I don't. I just get to show up and be me, and you get to show up and be you. And we're going to work on this page together. I did adjust the journal prompts. I did. But other than that, we're staying on track, y'all, because I think one of the greatest gifts as a human being that I have found is not to get stuck in my feelings, to not be a victim to my feelings to where I can't function or I can't show up in the world. And so I thought the greatest service that I can do for myself, for my children, for each of you, my community, my people, um, is to show up and move through my feelings. And we do that vulnerably, we do that authentically, we do that together. So that's what we're doing today. It's yeah, it's a day we get to move through our feelings deeper than ever. Nicole, I'm so happy you're here. Jean, I'm so happy you're here. Francis, I'm so happy. I am so happy. I mean that from the bottom of my heart. So happy you're here with me today. So I decided it was a pick a card from the Oracle kind of day. So I've got this. I got this Starseed Oracle. My daughter bought it for me last year, and I love this deck. It's so beautiful. So I connected to my inner wisdom, my intuition, and I said, what would really support us today? Like, what messaging would really land for each of us in whatever way that looked like? And so I pulled. I'm going to hold this up here. I pulled the card called the Golden Children, and the keywords are inner child, tenderness, innocence, rare gifts. And I was just like, wow. When I saw that word tenderness and inner child, I was like, yeah, yeah. So I'd like, if you don't mind, I'm just going to briefly read. It's not that giant of a little passage, but I'd like to share with you the meaning. Um, I'm not going to share all of it, but just enough. It says, if you pull this card, it might be a sign that you're being called to mother, father, or nurture a child. You may be called to tend your own inner child. a creative idea, a project, or a new beginning. To treat yourself or the new beginning with sweet, tender love, to nurture and nourish it, to give it every chance to grow and reach adulthood, to encourage it, to water it, to see the world through the innocence of a child, to see yourself and all others as innocent children, to remember that deep down, everyone is trying their best. Okay, that's hard for me today. I'll be transparent, but I'm gonna keep reading. And if they're treated with a tender heart, they're not hardened. They'll not harden as they journey through this great adventure called life. And the inquiry that comes with this card is, how can you treat yourself or others more tenderly? I think that's a pretty epic card to get today. And so, however that card may land for you, friend, whether that is you being tender with yourself, maybe that's you being tender with others. Um, but there's something here we get to nurture and nourish. And so, I'm just loving you. I'm loving you today. I always love you, you know that, but a little extra today. So, if anything came up for you from when I was reading about the golden child card, please do share it in the chat box. Is there anything about that card that landed for you? And if not, that's okay. I am gonna put my deck up, but I would love to hear. I would love to hear if anything came up for you. I mean, for me, it's, you know, the wounds that I carry in my adulthood most definitely stem from what my inner child, my young sage experienced, right? And so I'm always working on connecting with her and healing with her and keeping her safe. Because as I get older, I find that safety is has been a huge block in my life. Something that I've always sought out was to feel safe. And so maybe today it's about, how do I get to feel safe, but how do I get to support others in feeling safe too? That's really important for me. So, however that lands for you, friend, you take it. I am going to invite us into a page, and we're going to need something to write with. We're going to do some journaling prompts first. We're going to move some color around. I'm going to be using my watercolors. You can use crayons, markers. The beautiful thing about these pages is that whatever you have on hand is perfect. And you know me, I don't like the perfect word, but I'm going to use it here today. Whatever you have is perfect. You don't need anything fancy to have a beautiful experience today. I'll probably do some collaging. I don't know. I'm going to play it by ear. I'm going to see where my heart leads me. But I got some magazines and a glue stick on hand just in case we go in that direction. Nicole, that is powerful. How can I protect my children from the hate in the world? Yeah. Helen, security. Yes. Yes. Good. I'm saying good as in I'm glad you're finding that thread that connected you to that message. Hey, beautiful Patty. Golden children, our new leaders might fit that description, so I'm leaving my anger on the page and thinking of them. Yeah, you know, whatever feelings are coming up, I feel like I'm going through all the feelings. I'm crying, I'm sad, I'm disappointed, I am scared, I am angry. I'm all the things today. And that's normal, that's human. And so again, I don't think it's healthy for us to fall victim to these feelings. And when I say victim, I mean that in a way of that you can't function, right? You were just like broken down by it. And so I love this process because it helps me move my feelings, which then help me ground and have clarity and remain calm and clear. So that's what I'm inviting us into today is to get it out. This page, nobody has to read anything ever that goes on your page. It's your secret. It's your secret page. You can put whatever you want on it. So I am just going to copy and paste our first journal prompt. Now, if you're new to doing workshops with me, then you know I move kind of swiftly. So we spend about 2 minutes on journal prompts. And the reasoning for that is not to rush, but I find when we sit for a long period of time, sometimes we get in our head and we try to get the right words. I'm using quotations, air quotations over here. We try to find the right words, the right language. I'm just inviting us to be in our heart today and always, actually. Roberta, you said the main way to move our world into a space where fear does not win is through holding love for the inner child in all of us as our higher selves. Yes. Yes, 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 for sure. Okay, first journal prompt, my friends. What emotions am I waking up with today? And where do I feel them in my body? So we're just free writing right now. 2 minutes. I'm going to be quiet. The journal prompt is in the chat box. What emotions am I waking up with today? And where do I feel them in my body? I'm going to spend about another minute here. Great question, Camille. Not all of us are just in the waking up early part of our day. That's right, friend. Camille is asking if it's not waking up time for us. Do you mean now? Yeah, that sounds beautiful. How you feel right now in your body right now. Thank you for clarifying that, or asking that, I should say. All right, finish up where you're at. We're going to do 3 or 4 prompts. We'll see how it goes. Next prompt is, what stories or fears are surfacing, and what do they reveal about my values or what I deeply care about? So the prompt is in the chat box too, but I like to say it out loud. What stories or fears are surfacing, and what do they reveal about my values or what I deeply care about? pay attention as you journal and you release these feelings and words. I noticed I felt at the start of this, I felt a heaviness in my chest, and now it's starting to move up into my throat. I'm just paying attention to where these feelings are and how they're shifting and where they may be trying to come through. My heart feels like it's pounding extra. I'm feeling lots of body stuff. All right, let's finish up where you're at. I'm going to put the next, this will be actually our final journal prompt. We'll have some more inquiries on our page, but this will be the last one we journal with right now. All right, where is my inner wisdom calling me to focus my energy today, despite what is outside of my control? Where is my inner wisdom calling me to focus my energy today, despite what is outside my control? I'm going to give us one more minute. I was not paying attention to time. I got lost in the journal prompt. So I'm going to give us one more minute, just in case. And if anything is coming up for you in your journal prompts that you would like to share in the chat box, please do. I'd love to witness you. I'd love to see what's coming up for you. And if you don't want to share, that's okay too. Jane, I love that. Being here and working through my big feelings today is the best care I could ask for. Super grateful for the timing of this, truly. Same, my friend. It was just one of those divine timing moments where I just scheduled it kind of business as usual. It was the first Wednesday of the month. And then when it really hit me, I was like, wow. Wow. Oh, hey, friend. I see you, gentle kindred. Well, that was unexpected. My calling today is to write a blog post about our need to stay kind and gentle because that is our only path through this. Yes, yes. Oh, yes. I feel that. I feel it. Yeah, big wow, Jane. Jean, all that glitters is not gold. Yeah. All right, let's wrap up where we're at. My next invitation is we get to move this energy. We get to move it. So, as always, with my intentional creativity workshops, I'm inviting us to allow our inner knowing, our inner wisdom to choose the color, to not try to dictate what it looks like. We're just moving color. So, you can do that. I always like watercolor, that seems to be my favorite these days, but you could use crayon, colored pencil, whatever you've got on hand, again, is great. And my paintbrush immediately went to blue. Immediately. And I don't have a shocked face. And so if this is your first time here doing a Cosmic Smash Book page, what we're doing is just moving the energy of our writing. It's not about covering it up. It may seem that way, but it's truly about moving the energy, allowing us to open up to hear ourselves even more clearly. We're just shifting this. And you don't have to stick to one color. If you want to do, if you're being called to do multiple colors, there are no rules. You can't get it wrong. You do whatever your heart is guiding you to do. If some tears come out, let them come out. Be wherever you're at. If you are using watercolor like me, try not to use too much water like me, because we will be creating over this. Sometimes I get a little water happy. Maybe you want to add some tears to your page. All right, I'm going to stop before my page gets so wet I can't work with it. What color came up for you? Pop it in the chat box. What color was like, pick me today? And what does that color mean for you? I think the blue represents so much. It represents all the tears I've cried. It represents movement, flow. That things will not always look this way. Things will move and they will shift as they do. That's what the blue feels like for me today. I love that, Jane, you're being inspired by Roberta and Gentle Kindred's comments. That's why I love when y'all share. It's when y'all share, it's like you get to be visible and be witnessed. And also, you never know who you're going to touch and empower today. You never know that you might say the thing that somebody else needs to hear today. So, and there's no peer pressure to share, but there is value in it for sure. So I honor whatever you choose. If you choose to be in your process in this moment, or if you choose to share some of it, I'm here for all of it, y'all. I am here for all of it. Okay, my page is getting there. Taliesin, yellow for healing light coming through the cracks. Hope and light invited into this darkness. Oh, I love that. I love that. Yellow's beautiful. Camille also has some yellow for light and trust, green for hope. Jean, purple, spiritual, beautiful. All right, so if you're still working on your color, it's okay. You're not behind. Keep going. Helen, you said the red of the root chakra for my feelings of lacking security, pink for self-love. Beautiful. I love how each of us has such a different color showing up, and it means something unique to each of us. And that's what this process is always about. It's not about your page looking like my page, vice versa. It's about this is a reflection of what you're feeling, what's coming up for you, what you get to be present to. Nicola started with black, feeling a cloud over our country, but the blue of my pen blended and shifted the black to a blue. Oh, I love that. Maybe representing that there may be clarity peeking through. Oh, I'm just going to breathe that in. That is great. I love that. Roberta, red for rooted. I am rooted in love. Green for love. Yes. I'm laughing because I'm thinking about I was so mad and I'm, click clacking on my Facebook and I'm like, and I'm fucking loving. I'm loving and I'm angry. I can be both. So yes to love. And it's okay to get mad too. Oh, you can always count on me for the messy authenticity. I'm here for it. All right, friends. So the next step in this cosmic smash booking journey is to come to your page with an inquiry. So, I love that, a righteous rage. Yes. That is awesome. Let's see. We come to the page with an inquiry, and the inquiry for me, and it could mean something totally different for you, but when I do this process, the inquiry is me asking my inner knowing and allowing the page to be the reflection to answer that. So, what inquiry would really with an inquiry? But here's the don't use it. Come up with your own inquiry. So I'm just going to post it in the chat box. If my inquiry is if my inner wisdom could speak to my fear or frustration right now, what might it say? And if there's something else on your heart that you would love for your inner wisdom to guide you with, turn it into an inquiry and write it on your page. And if you want to share, if you're going to create a different inquiry, I'd love for you to put it in the chat box. You might inspire someone else. So I'm going to ask my inner wisdom, what would you say to my fear right now? And so I'm just going to pick another color. Oh, you can't make this shit up. Of course I pick blue. And then we're going to write it across the page. So it's going to look like so I just wrote the inquiry. If my inner wisdom could speak to my fear, what would it say? I'm laughing because I keep choosing blue. Every time I go for a new coloring goodie, it's blue. That never happens for me. I always end up with multiple colors, but blue is like, yo, you need blue today. Let's see. Oh, hey, Carol, I see you. Turquoise for peaceful. We need to be of greater service and love and hope, especially for women. Yes, my friend. I'm so glad you're here today. So the next step is once you've got your inquiry down is to put whatever you want to call it, a prayer, a mantra, an affirmation. I'm just going to give some examples of what I'm going to put over my inquiry. And I always use a different coloring goodie, but here we are with blue again. So I'm going to write, show me, guide me, love me, hold me, what else? Be tender with me. That word tender showing up again. I feel like there's something else that wants to come through, so I'm just going to sit for a moment. Stand with me. All right. If there's any kind of affirmations or prayers or mantras that you chose that are different, I'd love for you to share them if you wanna. So the next step is, now that I have my inquiry, if my inner wisdom could speak to my fear right now, what might it say? I'm going to choose to get one of my magazines that I use for Cosmic Smash booking. Breathe, mental health. What a great choice today. Oh, at least I'm laughing now. And I'm going to go through and I am going to keep that inquiry in my heart, in my mind, and I'm going to allow my inner wisdom to choose any words from the magazine, any shapes, any colors, any images, and I'm just going to tear them out. So that is the next step that I'm leaning into. If you don't have magazines, that's okay. You can draw images on, you can paint. You don't have to do the collage step. The next step is to bring imagery, to bring texture, to bring words, anything that is coming up for you right now, to bring it to the page. If you have any questions, just put it in the chat box. Jen, you said, I also wrote, allow me space and heal me. I love that. Gentle Kindred, love is the answer, at least for most of the questions in my heart. Like, why are we here? And where do we go? And how come it's so hard? Oh, that's good. That's good. Yes, we must keep loving while we fight. Yes. And I wrote that somewhere underneath here where I get to continue to lead with authenticity and love, because that's who I be. That's who I be. Ooh. See, like, again, I'm letting these images pick me. I'm not picking them, but this instantly, like, popped out at me. Like, there is a lot going on here. And yet there's hearts and a dragonfly. And there's also this darkness. So I don't know what it means. And I don't need to know what it means. I'm just allowing my intuition to choose for me. And so I am going to just make a pile. Doesn't even mean it has to end up on my page. Carol, you said, how can I be of even greater service to others? Yes. Yes. Oh, I feel that so hard today, friend. Oh, me too. I can't say it enough. I really am so grateful for our connection too. I mean, the timing of it is just, it's one of those you can't make this shit up moments. I feel it 100%. Yes, it is, my friend Carol. Yes, it is. We've got our beautiful thread that's connecting us all together, and I trust that. I love this Dalai Lama quote that popped up. Calm mind brings inner strength and self-confidence. So that's very important for good health. And I really feel that. I'm a very passionate, emotional human being, and yet I know what a gift it is to be grounded, to be able to find clarity, and to come from that place. Sometimes, like me, you might get lost in the images and the colors and the shiny object syndrome hits, and you got to reconnect with your inquiry. Sometimes I go, what's my inquiry? And then you can pause and just reconnect with it. It's okay. And if you're doing collage like me, when you get a good stack, you might just want to pause and just kind of look at what you've got going here and just to see, is there anything that's like you're finding flow on your page. And so you just play around with it. Sometimes I choose things and then it doesn't end up going on the page. And that's okay. And when I'm moving these images around, I'm asking them like, why did you show up? What do you want me to know? How does this relate to my inquiry? I think the best way to move through the not knowing is to be curious and to ask questions. And so I'm like, what does all this black mean here? Like, what does that mean? And, if you're open, most likely you're going to receive something. You're going to receive an answer. For me, the key is always to not try to control the page and to make it what I want, but to be open to what wants to come through. That is exactly the point of this process, to get out of our own way to listen to that inner wisdom. Oh, I love that, Taliesin. I love that you were able to move some stuck energy. You got a sunflower painting, one of my favorite flowers. I love that. Carol, you've got some butterflies coming up. I love that. And it's interesting when you stay open, the images will tell you what wants to stay and what doesn't want to be there. Just really letting go and surrendering to the process. I love that the light shining through my window is hitting her right here in her heart. The only two pieces of light coming through my blinds. So now that I have some kind of flow on my page, I am going to just reconnect with my inquiry. And now I'm going to be quiet because I know you're in process. But I like to walk you through, especially for those of you who've never done this before. I'm going to reconnect with my inquiry, and now I'm going to ask this page. I'm going to glue it down, but I just want to go ahead and reconnect with my inquiry and ask, like, okay, well, how does this all come together? How does this serve me? What do you want me to know? Jane, I agree with you 100%. Jane has put in the chat, ripping the pages is very therapeutic in its own way. You will very, very rarely see me ever use scissors because the process of ripping and touching and just feeling that texture is a whole different experience for me. So I agree 100%. I'll always be in that. Decided I wanted to pull another card, and I got this card called You Got the Love. And it's about codependency and boundaries. And what it's asking in this card is to really assess my relationships, and do I have healthy boundaries, and do I lose myself? And I think that's such a good inquiry for me. Do I lose who I am in certain relationships? And this is really hitting home for me because sometimes people will be like, be careful what you speak about on the internet. Be careful what you say in your business. Like, you're going to have, people that don't like what you have to say. And I really want to take a stand that we get to feel safe in our spaces. And I'm never going to hold back. I'm always going to be transparent. I'm always going to be authentic. And I'm not afraid to use my voice. And so I'm willing to pay the price of someone not liking me or removing themselves from my community. And so this card to me is this reminder that I'm okay. And there's nothing that I get to change about my way of being. that I get to continue to be a light in the world and take a stand. And I can do that in a loving, creative way without hiding or trying to please everyone, because I will never please everyone. I mean, it's just not even humanly possible. And so I think in this moment, what my page is telling me, what my inner wisdom is telling me, is it's okay to feel the both and. It's okay to feel messy and conflicted. It's okay to be pissed off. And it's okay to be very compassionate and loving and tender. I don't have to choose one of those ways. I can be all of that, and I can still be grounded, and I can still show up, and I can still be of service. And it really goes back to, how do I care for myself overall? And one of the inquiries for this card is, how can you develop a deeper love for yourself? I just think all of that is so beautiful. Thank you for witnessing me and my process. Carol, you said, be the change you want to see. Yes. Yes. And how can I show up in my community and invite you to use your voice and to show up authentically if I'm not doing the same? That's not the type of leader in my community that I want to be. I want to be like, if I ask you to do something, I am willing to also do that. Gentle Kindred, you say, my dog is keeping next to me and has started. What's Todream? Will you tell me what that is? Which I'm taking as a reminder that we all need to continue to dream. Oh, to dream. It was a typo. I was like, what is this? What is this magical practice you speak of? I think I figured it out. I like when I say it out loud and I'm all curious, and then I walk myself through it and I'm like, oh, that's what it is. Beautiful. Yeah. Yeah. Yes. Yes, yes, yes. So I'm curious. I'm going to start gluing my images down. I'm laughing at Todd Ream. I'm like, what kind of layer of dreaming is that? Tell me more. That's so silly. I'm going to start gluing my images down. And I'm curious if you, in your process, want to share what's coming through for you on your page. What was your inquiry, if you want to share? And what is your inner wisdom sharing with you right now? Is there anything that you would like to, get out? Francis, these are on here forever. You can come back and do this page again and again and again for whatever reason. So every time that I do a YouTube live, oh, please do. I would love that, Francis. And if you go on my page, there's a tab that says live, and it is just chock full. I think there's like 17 videos on there of every video that I've done. So you are more than welcome to share my YouTube link. I would actually love that. That's beautiful. You can share the videos. They're public. Sorry, I can't do two things at once. Clearly, I can't glue and talk at the same time. Shiny object sage over here, like, wait, hold on, I gotta talk and glue. That's a lot. But yes, anytime I do a YouTube live, y'all, if you can't make it, it'll automatically go into a recording, and then it will live on my YouTube channel as long as my YouTube channel is in existence. So there's some people who will go back and redo pages for different inquiries. So I welcome that. I love that. Please use it to however you need it. And I love when you share this with friends. That makes my heart happy. And just as a reminder, I'll always post it in my Facebook group, Storytellers and Wild Creatives, which I'll post a link to before we're finished today. But I'll always send out reminders. But unless it's like some big holiday, I will always be here the first Wednesday of every month. Same time, same bat channel. You're always going to find me here. How y'all feeling over there? You okay? Just want to do a check-in. I know we're working through some big things today, and I don't take that lightly. You doing okay over there, wherever you are? I got my coffee, I got my water, because I gotta stay hydrated. We gotta keep drinking our water, taking good care of ourselves. Jane, you said doors are opening even though they may not be the door I thought was open. Oh, that's interesting, Jean. Ooh. Also, friend, I got your postcard, and I know I'm like late to the party and telling you, and I apologize about that, but it made my whole universe. So thank you. Thank you for thinking of me, and thank you for sharing that moment with me. That meant a lot. Jane, you said I'm crying and smiling at the same time. Big feelings. Oh, friend. Yes, I feel that. So feel that. And I think it's such a beautiful thing that we can do that. It's okay to cry. It's okay to smile. It's okay. We don't have to choose one way. We are not robots. The word enchanted came up. And in this moment, I don't know what that means. I don't know how that aligns with my inquiry. So if you don't get some of the things that showed up on your page, that is totally okay. This isn't a process that it's like, I mean, sometimes it is. Sometimes I do a page and I know exactly what it's trying to tell me while I'm creating it or when it's complete. And then there's some times where there's just some things that are in the mystery and they just haven't opened to me yet, or I haven't opened to it yet, whatever way you want to look at it. And so don't hold back on adding something to your page just because you don't understand it. It will make sense one day. It just may not be today. And that's okay. So I just want to invite you into that because sometimes folks will be like, well, I don't know what that means. And I think that's the beautiful part of this process too, is being curious, being an inquiry, leaning in, asking questions. Like, don't be afraid to talk to your page. Nobody has to know. Carol, you said these events will not change my basic approach to life and my intention to be kind and of service, but it does wound my heart to know how many of our citizens make this kind of choice. Yeah, I feel that really hard today, Carol. I feel like there's this betrayal feeling that's coming up for me. I'm more astonished by that than I am by the man. You know what I mean? That's how I feel. Gentle Kindred, you said, until a week or two ago, my username and website was chronically enchanted. Yep. Yep. Our threads were bound to weave. And I just looked up and the video was at 5505 because I'm that person too. Carol, you said, I'm so grateful for this gathering today to help us process what's happening. Thank you, Sage. You're so welcome. I mean, that's really what came to me was more than ever, this work is necessary. More than ever. And I'm so grateful that we have access to these tools, which are intention, paper, coloring goodies. If you want to use magazines, I love using images like this, and being open and curious with an inquiry. Like this tool continues to be such a blessing in my life, and so I really am so grateful that for those of you here that it lands for you as well, and it's a tool for you. and not to forget about it, that this tool, you have access to it whenever you want. You have access to my videos whenever you want. Yeah, we get to use our tools more than ever. Oh, Audrey, I love you, friend. Audrey says, Sage, I needed to hear your voice and your words today and to be with all of you. Oh, I love you. And I so needed this too. I mean, I was like, I need my safe place with my community and my creativity and to move my feelings and to be present with all of you. Just wasn't a time to hide. It wasn't a time to get swept away in my feelings. It was like I was really called. Like, I mean, obviously I was going to be here no matter what because I scheduled this, but it was like I really needed it today, and to be with each of you and just to be present with you. Carol, you said, I'm taking this page to lunch with a friend who is so angry and upset in spite of her Buddhist background. It might help her. Gonna sign off. Thanks so much. Love you, my friend. Thank you for creating the spaciousness to be here, and have a beautiful lunch with your friend. Oh, Jane, I'm sorry, I missed your comment. I see it. You said, I'm feeling a call to water the good seeds. Ooh, I love that. Water the good seeds. So there's some things that I do. The light continues to shine on her heart. So there's some things that I do with my Smashbook page that I've shared with you before, but I'm going to share again. Today, right now, the sun is very bright outside, which we've had a lot of rain and wind. And so I'm really grateful for this light today. That feels really good. And so what I do is I take my Cosmic Smashbook and I put it outside. And I'm just going to let my page sit in the sun. I'm going to let the energy move here. I also like to have some space from it. It's one of those things where you can overwork something if you just like stay in it so hard. And so I'm just going to leave her outside today for a little bit, and then I'll go back to it. And, really, you do whatever you feel called to. Sometimes I put my Smashbook pages under the moonlight, to charge them. I treat my Cosmic Smashbook like a live living thing, right? It's this thing that I have put energy into, and so I tend it. And so just thinking about how could you tend your books? Sometimes I keep my books open and I keep them on my desk where I can see them. So whatever you feel called to do, there's no right or wrong way. There's absolutely zero rules when it comes to this process. I'm just inviting you to listen to yourself. And sometimes it might seem ridiculous, like, oh, I'm putting a book out in the sunshine. It's not ridiculous. Following your heart and your intuition and your inner wisdom is never, ever ridiculous. So maybe your page is like, give me some chocolate, yo. Do whatever you feel called to do, friends. Trust yourself. I think more than ever, taking sacred care of ourselves, trusting ourselves, listening to our intuition and our inner wisdom, I think that is the most radical thing we can do in this moment. And I'm here for that. And I'm going to take a stand for that. And I hope you'll join me. I know you'll join me because you're here today. You're in it with me. You just gave your page some coffee. I know, right? Let's see. So let me pop a link really quick before we wrap this party up. And if you're still in process, don't worry. This automatically downloads into a recording. You can watch it at your leisure. Please don't feel rushed. Let's see. Okay, I wanted to grab this link for you. So for those of you who don't know, I have a Facebook group called Storytellers and Wild Creatives. I just popped a link in the chat box. I'd love for you to come over, join. I post a lot about what I'm up to. opportunities to connect, and I share things. I share when my podcast episodes go live, just all sorts of stuff. And I'd love to see your page. I love these YouTube gatherings. The only bummer is I don't get to see your page. So if you feel comfortable and when you feel ready, if you want to go over to Storytellers and Wild Creatives and just share that this is the page you made in today's session, or whenever you choose to share it, if you want to share any insight, it's a very loving, safe place to share things like this. So know that. And I just can't say enough how grateful I am for you. Thank you for being here with me today. Thank you for being here with me today. Really, I just it's that easy. That just feels exactly what my heart wants to say. I'm in gratitude for you. Thank you for showing up for yourself. Yeah, I feel like I'm gonna cry now. I'm probably gonna be crying on and off all day. And if you have any questions, if there's anything you want to share, I'm always here for that. You can reach out to me on social media. You can email me. I truly am grateful for your connections, friends, because we don't get through this shit alone. It definitely is a community effort, and so I love you. I really mean that when I say that. It's just not a thing that I say. And that's it. That's it. Take good care of yourself today, and I'll see you soon.